Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in. Stacking up, green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we have some baseball. We got 2 games in the National League Divisional Series. And then we have 3 games in the NHL. I've already moved on 2 of them. I've got my futures typed up. I'm ready to go post those all onto CapperTek as well. So I will be posting those after the show is over. I've got a decent amount of futures there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 futures I've typed out for just playoffs, no playoffs, point totals, and divisional props. I have 2 divisionals. I have 2 yes playoffs, 2 no playoffs. And then the rest are that. So kind of interesting there. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, we'll recap yesterday. What a fun day in baseball it was. And I said that yesterday was going to be an awesome day for pitching. Matthew Boyd was good. Tariq Skubal was amazing. Carlos Rodon was. Cole Reagans was awesome. Freaking Rodon had to give up 4 runs in the 4th inning to kill my first 500. We'll get into it, whatever. How about that Tigers game? Tigers Guardians, first 5 under 3, full game under 6. And then me being a little bit degenerate and also needing to run through some Bovada stuff, I laid a ton of juice just messing around throwing small quarter unit bets. I had Skubal over strikeouts, over outs, under and runs. Same thing with Boyd. I had no run first inning, no run second inning. I had a few other things that a race to 4, race to 5 neithers, which were fun as well. I think it was plus 130 for the race to 4 neither or something like that. That was an awesome game. That game was absolute cinema. And then of course Kerry Carpenter comes up, ties up the series with a 3-run bomb off of Emmanuel Clase.
Yeah, all right.
Who has allowed 8 earned runs this season, and 3 of them were off the bat of Kerry Carpenter. Yankees and Royals first 5 under 4 was a loss. Full game under 7.5 was a win. And that was another game where I bet during that nightmarish inning, I got the first 5 under 5.5, and then I grabbed some full game under 8, full game under 9. I bet no run 6th inning, no run 7th inning, no run 8th inning. Like I was live betting way too much in these games, but it was working. So 3-1 in baseball. Baseball continues to be really strong. And then KC -5 was a winner as well. They took care of business there. I don't often bet the best team in the NFL, but when I do, but Kansas City's been a good ATS team this year. So
Taylor Swift wins again.
I didn't see her on the field last night, so I don't want to hear that anymore. I'm tired of hearing about her. So Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes and the players on the field cover the -5 in that game. 4-1 overall for me yesterday. Finally, a winning day.
Yeah, the Chiefs game was a little bit more disappointing for me in a different fashion. I'm no longer in first place of Earls versus Girls. Destiny's now in first place. Which is, you know what? It's still early in the season, so we'll go from there. But figure I'd mention it. But no, yesterday was a good day for me. I'll pull up what my CapperTek did. But I'm happy I didn't bet any overs yesterday because I was thinking about it for a minute and I did not end up pulling any triggers on that. The Tigers were a big winner for me. The Royals were a big winner for me. Saints were a loser. I took a little bit of a shot because I saw preseason NBA basketball. I took a shot on New Zealand Breakers plus 33, and they lose by like 60. So I wanted to have a little bit of fun with that. I only put half a unit on it, so I didn't really think it mattered all that much. But I end up going 2-2. I'm gonna say 2-1. The one play was a half a unit. I wasn't really too worried about it. Overall, good day. A little bit disappointed with that Saints game because they were covering for a minute and then fell apart. But it is what it is. But we'll go to the chat. Nick, I know it's a lot of hockey stuff, so I'll let you go and talk to the chat for a minute.
Yeah, we got some hockey to go over here in just a minute. Let's get into it. Chiefs win by 7 winner. Chiefs money line and Hunt over rushing yards winner. Chiefs money line Mahomes. There you go. How about them Chiefs? Wait, I think I have. I think. Let's see. Yeah, we have something for this.
Okay. How about those? That's what I'm talking about.
Really?
I remember having that in the back pocket, so why not? Why not? Tigers versus Guardians had first 5 under and full game under both cash. That was beautiful there. Yankees Royals under first 5, not a winner, but the full game was. Yeah, Yankee money line loser. I'm glad I stayed off the Yankees yesterday. I only had unders in that game. I still have the Yankees to win the series now, still at minus 125. So hopefully they can get the job done there. 3-2 in the MLB. There you go. 6-2 on lots of plus money in the NFL. There you go. All my plays for NFL plays for plus 145 or more. Hell yeah. Boston 2 units on them plus 145. I got in this morning at plus 130. So it's just both odds suck. But yeah, there. New Mexico State plus 21. I need to dive deeper into college football today and tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So we will get back to those in probably a day or two. Taylor Hall under half a point. I lean Blackhawks in that game, so I want to take a little bit deeper of a look into it there. Tuvo Teravainen over half a point. I do think Teravainen is going to have a decent year this year. And he's gonna have a better year this year than he did in Carolina last year because he's gonna have better opportunities. Because I think he might be skating on that top line with Connor Bedard. So he's no longer a Hurricane. The Hurricanes lost a lot of players, which we'll talk about in a couple days. Which, spoiler, Hurricanes under 100.5 points is going to be on my futures card. So there's that. Here so early because I got class, so getting my thoughts out. There you go. Also, I know a lot of people wanted back Bedard, but you can get the next best thing, Logan Cooley, to get a point at plus 115, which is a steal. Talking about them Utah Coyotes for later. Let's go Mets. Yes, let's go Mets. I've already bet the Mets first 5 in full game, so assume me. Chiefs minus 5.5 winner there.
Gross.
Tigers, Royals. There you go. We get to bet the
baseball.
Bet the best sport in the world today. Hockey. Baseball has been a lot of fun, but yeah, hockey's fun too. Jets fired head coach Robert Saleh. Their odds.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah. So we'll see there. Hockey is the best. We're gonna start with hockey too. Yo, what's good, Markel? Happy Sean Manaea Day. Hey, I actually saw an interesting stat, which I probably should save for when we go over the Mets game. But the last 9 home starts for Sean Manaea, the Mets are 9-0. So, congrats on firing your pathetic team Salalala. Tiny Tim Earle. There you go.
Can we just go to the fact that 446 is a Giants fan? Can we? I don't understand why you think you need to talk shit about the Jets all the time. Y'all aren't good. You guys aren't good either.
Same record.
Yes, but that's not the point.
Or is it?
I mean, I don't make fun of the Yankees because I know the Mets aren't as good as the Yankees right now. So even though we're in the playoffs, I know that that's not the case. So if your team's not good enough, you shouldn't be making fun of another team. But there you go.
Fair. Thanks for coming to Tim's TED Talk. Hockey finally is back. Yes. Jets just fired Rob. Yeah. Jets Monday night win. That was the first thought was doing that there. Come on, Royals and the Yankees.
Please.
If it means the Yankees get eliminated, I have no problem. I have no problem losing my minus 125 bet. I heard a rumor that affects Mets and Yankees, which I hated to hear. You guys will have mixed emotions. Take a guess. I don't know. I can't believe Tim had Saints plus 5.5.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. That's fine. Whatever.
Tim, fix your mic. It sounds like you're in a tunnel. Is the mic being stupid right now?
I'm going to go listen to it because nobody else has said anything, so.
Fair. Hey, it's Solid. Glad he got canned. My buddy who did equipment for an NFL for 8 years said he was the biggest douche around. That's fun. Can we invent a cash cow in hockey somehow? I don't know. We would have to figure that out, but I don't know. And what would that be? Minus 180 to 280 with a total at least 6?
No, the microphone's fine.
Microphone's fine. Cool. What up, Earle? Good morning and good luck today. What's good? Stop, Gio. I will be giving out my parlay of the day today. Stay tuned, people. Cool. Bruins money line, Padres money line, Mets and Phils under 7 parlay. Good luck. I'm on the Bruins and I'm on the Padres team total over. We'll talk about that later. Hello, Earle. Why did you? Hey, y'all got any looks for this 50% NHL boost? I would look towards the Bruins. The Bruins are. If I would have to give out a best bet on the NHL card today, it's the Bruins. So, there's that. Nobody says New Mexico State. No, do team total over Liberty. I took the points with FIU at 17.5. I'm challenging Liberty to cover their first double-digit spread of the year with, 2.5 weeks off? So, Tim sounds like he's in a room with no furniture.
We are in the same room.
We're in the same room.
Using the same exact microphone. So you sound like an idiot.
Let's get into it. We got some NHL hockey to kick off our card with here. 4:30 in Climate Pledge Arena, Seattle, Washington. The Seattle Kraken open up their season against the St. Louis Blues. This line opened up at a 129. That was on the 6th of October. It's now a minus 148. A big move here towards the Seattle Kraken. Line opened up at a 5.5 at minus 118. It's now 5.5 minus 130. So a move towards the over here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 76% of the tickets, 74% of the cash is on the Kraken. The line moving towards them. Only 22 and 25 on the puck line though. 87% of the tickets, 89% of the cash is on the over in this game. The line has moved from a 5.5, and we're starting to see some 6s, which I do believe that with the new coaching change for the Seattle Kraken, this team will be more of an over team this year than they were last year. Which last year under trying to remember who was there. I forgot who their head coach was last year that they fired, but he was more of a defensive-minded coach, and I think that it won't be. I think it won't be as much of a defensive hockey team this year. I think more overs for Seattle Kraken games. I want to see them first, though. Seattle Kraken will enter the year with Matty Beniers as their top line center in between Jordan Eberle and Jared McCann. Chandler Stevenson, a nice little offseason acquisition for them. Will be centering Burakovsky and Schwartz. Shane Wright will be in between Bjorkstrand and Tolvanen. And then Yanni Gord with Tanev and Cardi. That'll be a fun fourth line there. Their blue line, Vince Dunn and Adam Larson will be on the top line. Jamie Alexiak and offseason acquisition Brandon Montour, Stanley Cup champion Brandon Montour, will be on that second line. Will Borgen and Riker Evans will be the third line there. Their goaltending situation, Joey Decord and Philip Grubauer. I'm assuming Grubauer will be the starter, but don't be surprised if we see a decent amount of Joey Decord this year. They should be a fun little squad. On the other side, St. Louis is kind of a question mark for me this season because I kind of lean over their point total and maybe sprinkling them to make the playoffs at plus 205 was a couple things I was kind of tempted on, but I didn't type either up. I do have futures thoughts on the Seattle Kraken team, not the Blues though. The Blues, Robert Thomas will be centering the top line with Jake Neighbors and Dylan Holloway, who was part of that Edmonton Oilers run. they offer sheeted him, and Edmonton couldn't match it. Pavel Buchnevich will be centering Alexander Texier, another offseason acquisition for them from Columbus, and Jordan Kyrou. Brandon Shen with Kasperi Kapanen and Matthew Joseph. And then they got Radek Faska from the Dallas Stars to center Nathan Walker and Alex Torpochenko on that fourth line there. Their blue line with Colton Parayko, Nick Leddy, Justin Falk, Philip Broberg, and Ryan Suter and Matthew Kessel. I don't really care for that third line too much. Of course, their starting goaltender this year will be the one and only Jordan Binnington, and then Joel Hofer will be their backup. Brendan Saad and Torrey will be starting the year on the IR. Torrey Krug and Oscar Sundqvist will not be playing in this game either. I have moved on this one here, and usually when they're the public sides or whatever, I want to see at least a line move towards them. I'm high on this Kraken team this year. And Kraken to win the division was almost something that I typed up for a future for this team this year. I'm going to be on the Seattle Kraken over 87.5 points this year and to make the playoffs at plus 170. I think they get back to where they were a couple of years ago. They had a down year last year, but I like the young talent that the Seattle Kraken do have. And I think Shane Wright can take a step up this year. I think Beniers takes a step up this year. I think the Seattle Kraken team is going to be a team fighting for a wild card spot and maybe flirting with a little bit of that, maybe a 2 seed or a 3 seed in their division. Because when you look at the Pacific Division, I see Edmonton as a clear number 1, Vancouver, and then everybody else is question marks. I'm not a fan of Vegas this year. I'm not a fan of LA this year. I think Seattle could be a team that sneaks their way into the playoffs here. So I'm also on the Kraken on the -1 line here at plus 108. I took the Kraken for this first game of the year. -108, -1 plus 108. I'm also going to be on the Kraken over 87.5 points and to make the playoffs at plus 170.
Cool. I'm not going to dig into as much of a description as you do. I took the over in this game. I just see both of these two teams being able to come out a little bit fast. I can easily see this game being like 2-1 after the first. These two teams I don't think are going to be that good defensively. I think St. Louis is going to struggle this year. I think they might be one of the bottom teams in their division. Because you look at the Central for me, and I have a couple other teams that I think are kind of better in the Central. Nashville took a big step up. I think Winnipeg will be solid. I think Dallas will be solid. Colorado will be solid. Wow, this uncovers they have 9 teams in the Central. They still have Arizona.
Yeah, they haven't fixed that yet.
I think St. Louis will finish ahead of 2 teams this year in their division, and it'll be Chicago and Utah. But I just don't see this team being all that good. I see Seattle being all right, but in the same point, I still think Vancouver, Edmonton, and Vegas will be better than them.
I'm not on the Vegas train this year.
I still think Vegas is going to be a solid team. I think they got enough pieces to be able to do stuff. And obviously, I think Seattle will finish ahead of like San Jose and Anaheim, maybe Calgary. I just don't think Seattle's going to be as good this year, but I think both teams struggle defensively. I think this one's going to be a higher scoring game.
Yeah.
I took the over 5.5, and I see some 6s now.
Fair. And here's the thing with why I'm not high on the Vegas Golden Knights this year. I think they'll be an under team, meaning they're going to be more defensive minded. They lost a lot of pieces. They lost Riley Smith before last season. They lost Jonathan Marchessault. They lost a few other pieces. Like their top line is now Barbashev with Eichel and Stone still, but then Hertl, Dorofeyev, and Holtz. That's a question mark for me. Waugh, Brisson, and Olofsson. That's a question mark for me. Howden, Colasar, Pearson. That's a question mark for me. I think that Vegas team, and I know we're not talking about them today, but when it comes to the playoffs, I have them to miss the playoffs at plus 235. I'm not high on Vegas this year. I do think Aiden Hill can have a decent year, but they're going to be more of a defensive hockey team. So there's that. But yeah, I'm not as high on Vegas to make the playoffs.
That's fair. I'll let you go to the chat for hockey stuff, and then baseball will take over.
Fair. Let's see. Seattle minus 151. Blues plus 130. Jake Neighbors point. And Jordan Kyrou point and over 2.5 shots. Buchnevich point over 2.5 shots. I would definitely look for some player props in this game. Matty Beniers would be like where it starts and where it would start for me there. Jared McCann, I think, could be a decent player to take some point props with. I think Brandon Montour, his first game with the new team, could be an interesting one there. Same with Chandler Stevenson. I'm probably going to take some player props there for points and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't mind that. Yo, Rob, do I know you? The Blues own the Kraken somehow. Fair. Blues, if Benny is confirmed, I can't trust any other goalie. Yeah, I understand that. Wake me up when we get to baseball. I have my parlay of the day. Cool. Decord is better than Group. I think the upside for Decord is better than Grubauer. When we look at the two goalies long term, I think that that Decord will be the better option long term. But short term, I think Grubauer probably. Igor Shesterkin just rejected an 8-year, $88 million contract offer from the Rangers. Wow. I may need to delete 2 futures because I have the Rangers over and I have the Rangers to win the Metro.
Do you think he wants out of New York if he's rejecting that much money?
I think I've heard that his agent said he wants 12 or 13 million.
Eesh.
Here's the thing, though, is I think he's a UFA. He's a UFA, or he's at the end of this season. They don't need to sign him before this season.
They don't.
But if the Rangers do what I think they're going to do this year and make a really deep playoff run and potentially make the Stanley Cup, now Shesterkin's going to be asking for $14 million. If he's a let's just put the hypothetical out there. The Rangers win the Stanley Cup this year, which is gross. Shesterkin's going to be a $15 million goaltender. If he goes on, if Shesterkin remains unsigned, it actually makes me like the Rangers more because you know that he is going to have a Vezina-style year and lead this Rangers team on a big run. So I'm high on the Rangers this year. I don't know about Stanley Cup futures or things like that because they usually choke in the playoffs, but yeah. Pass. The Blues added Matthew Joseph. He's got crazy speed. Yeah, I do like him as a little depth piece there. Who won the Stanley Cup last year? That would be the Florida Panthers. We'll talk about them next game. Blues center core is pretty solid. I do like what the Blues have down the center there with what was it? I think Tabas, Buchnevich, Shen. I like Neighbors. I like Kyrou. Like they have nice players. I want the Blues more as a home dog though. So there we go. Panthers, yeah. What a day to be alive, boys. Hockey season's back. I have a future on the Mets, fellas, so let's ride. Yes, I love it. I love the picture, by the way. I have a future on the Panthers.
I just saw the picture.
What's the difference between Zach Wilson and Aaron Rodgers? Seriously, it's the same results. Yeah. Show me the money. What's good, Real Deal Prime? There you go. Who do you guys think is winning the Cup this year?
The Sharks. Oh, I'm joking.
I'm gonna put it. I know they've had early playoff bounces the last couple of years. If I had to take a shot at the team, I think Tampa Bay.
All right, ready?
If you say the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm gonna reach over and open hand slap you.
All right, we probably should move on to the next.
All right, let's do that. I have
it's Toronto's year. Let's go.
I have the Maple Leafs under 102.5 points. Yeah, early speculation.
It's the Maple Leafs year. Let's go. Let's go.
I have the Canes under 100.5 points. That is something that I bet. I need to see them overcome the players they've lost in the offseason. So, not Lindor, not Lindo, Markel.
Well, of course, Lindor's not winning the Stanley Cup. He doesn't play hockey.
You know.
Man, you sound like an idiot, 446. Anyways.
I'm done betting. I'm done betting NHL if my feelings not going to do parlays. Good. Lindor.
Well, Lindor doesn't play hockey, so yes, good job. He's not going to win the Stanley Cup.
If the Rangers don't make it to the finals, they are breaking the team up, I heard. Yeah.
They should. Yeah.
Nashville is winning the cup. Leafs, no. As soon as Nick tells us the team that wins the cup, I will bet they don't make the playoffs. Like I said last year with the Florida Panthers. Oh, wait. Oh. And the previous year when I said, with the Vegas Golden Knights. Oh, wait. I've had futures on the last 2 Stanley Cup winners. And here's the thing. I have my list of futures right now. There's no Stanley Cup future on it yet.
Toronto.
I still need to figure out who's going to make the list for the Stanley Cup, because when I'm looking at it here, I don't want the Oilers at 8-1, Panthers at 10-1, Stars at 11-1, maybe you take a Star. Devils 12-1, no thank you. Leafs 13-1 is hilarious. Same with the Hurricanes, that's hilarious. Rangers 13-1, I would take a shot with. Preds at 18-1. You could have gotten 40-1 though. 25-1 with the Lightning. I don't mind. I think I'm going to enter the season with probably Lightning and Rangers would be my 2 Stanley Cup futures. Maybe I'd take a shot at the Avalanche. Would be a look as well, but I don't know yet. I'm sorry, I don't know what points under, what that means, points under. Basically, it's an under win total, Markel. It's like if you bet the Yankees under 95.5 wins for baseball. And it's just in hockey, it's points because it's 2 points for a win, 1 point for an overtime loss. So only Tennessee team that is good is the Nashville Predators, yeah. What's good, Brio Kelly? The Utah Coyotes for the Cup. It would make me happy, but also kill me. Yeah. The Preds rink is savage. Yeah, that they're Bridgestone Arena is gonna be fun this year. I want the Predators, but I still in the back of my head keep thinking I could have gotten them for 40-1.
Yeah.
So, I forgot you picked it right. My bad. Yeah. But I think they make the playoffs. The Utah Yotes, I have that on my list as well. Utah, yes, playoffs plus 140. Utah over 89.5 wins. Yep. Recency bias betting against Nick's cup pick. How is it recency bias? Oh, just gotcha. All right, we'll move on to the second game with the Boston Bruins and the Florida Panthers. I'm not high on this Boston Bruins team this year, but let's get into this game. This line opened up with the Florida Panthers around 145. It's now 149. A 4-cent line moving here towards the Florida Panthers. Line opened up at a 5.5 at minus 120. It's a 5.5 at minus 114. So we even moved towards the under here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow, we have 81% of the tickets, 75% of the cash is on the Panthers. The line's moving slightly towards them, so it's not like it's completely moving against them or anything like that. 70% of the tickets, 72% of the cash in the over in this game as well. The line dropping does make the under a little bit appealing in this game because I do think that these two teams can play a decent under type of game. Let's get into it here. The Boston Bruins last year got bounced in the second round. They beat the Leafs in 7. They lose to the eventual Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers in the second round in 5 games. This year, Elias Lindholm is going to be centering the top line with David Pastrnak and Pavel Zacha. Charlie Coyle with Brad Marchand and Morgan Geekie on the second line. Travis Frederick with Justin Brazeau and Max Jones on the third line. Kastelik, Kopech, and Beecher on the fourth line. So they do got some question marks on the bottom 6 here in Boston. Their blue line, though, I like. Hampus Lindholm and Charlie McAvoy will be on the top pairing with Mason Leroy and Brandon Carlo on the second line. Nikita Zadorov and Andrew Peeke will be on the third line there. My guess is Korpisalo starts this game, but I wouldn't be surprised if Swayman does. They finally got the deal done with Swayman, 8x8.25. Korpisalo will be the backup this year. Swayman will be the starter. They picked up Korpisalo in the offseason from the LA Kings when Linus Ullmark went and signed with the Ottawa Senators, if I remember right. On the flip side, we have the defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. They will be centered by their captain on the top line, Alexander Barkov, who is arguably the best two-way center in all of hockey. Shut down every top guy he faced up until McDavid had a really strong Stanley Cup final against him. But that's McDavid. With Reinhart and Verhaeghe, Reinhart with a nice extension in the offseason as well after his monster season last year. Sam Bennett will be centering Matthew Tkachuk and Evan Rodriguez. Antoine Lindell will be centering Eetu Listerinen and Mackie Samkinovich. And then it'll be Jesper Boquist with AJ Greer and Johan Gajovic on the fourth line. So they lost a few pieces in the offseason. They also lost some pieces on the blue line. They lost Rocco Gudis. They lost Brandon Montour. On the top line will be Gustav Forsling and Aaron Ekblad. On the second line will be Dmitry Kulikov with Nico Mikkola. And then Uvis Balinskis will be on the third pairing with Adam Boquist. Their starting goaltender this year will once again be Sergei Bobrovsky. They optioned Spencer Knight down to Charlotte, AHL. So I don't know who the backup is for the Florida Panthers this year. That'll be the big question mark because Bobrovsky's not going to play 82 games. He will be playing tonight, though, in their opening game. And for me, this is a double whammy in this spot. Obviously, we are fading the banner raising. And I know you could make that point where,
although it has not been good in the NHL the last 4 years, it's 3-1 if you bet the teams that won the cup. That's not the point.
But how many times do those teams that are playing the defending Stanley Cup champion have playoff revenge from the previous year?
Most recently the Ravens against the Chiefs and that.
Or my bad. How about the previous 2 years? The Boston Bruins have seen the Florida Panthers end their season back-to-back seasons. And I am on the Boston Bruins at plus 130 in this game. This is a game I had circled from when they announced the opening schedule. That I was going to back the Boston Bruins in this game with the Panthers off their Stanley Cup win and the Boston Bruins off of not playoff revenge, but double playoff revenge here from the previous 2 years. So I am on the Boston Bruins. This was a spot I had circled for a while. I got at plus 130. I like this spot for them. Does not mean I like the Boston Bruins for futures. Does not mean I like the Boston Bruins for playoffs or anything like that this year. I just think there's a spot for the Bruins here in this game. I think the Panthers are going to be good again this year. I think that's pretty simple, though. They won't be what they were last year or the year before that. Actually, they weren't great 2 years ago. They were a team that squeaked into the playoffs, if you remember, with the Penguins choking at the end of the year there. So I am going to be on the Boston Bruins. I got them at plus 130.
I got it at plus 138, and I see it down to plus 133. So I'm happy with my Bruins play. Do we know what goalie's going to be in net for Boston? Is it Ullmark or Swayman?
I don't know yet. They haven't confirmed it yet.
Heard. It doesn't matter. It's the fade the banner night. I like the double playoff revenge angle. When it comes to hockey, Nick, I am going to be betting a lot of situational spots. I'm going to try to look at it that way. I'm not going to be as analytical like you are going to be with all that stuff. I'm going to be more of the what did we just see recently from them? And I want to see how I do with it. And I'm starting my NHL season here. The first 2 games were homer plays, whatever. I put them off to the side. Though I didn't really make any of them like official. Today is the real start of my NHL year. So I'm taking the Boston Bruins here. I got it at plus 138. I see it down to plus 133, and I even see it going lower. So I'm taking a little bit of Boston Bruins action today.
Yeah, I agree.
Back to the chat, Nick, with your hockey.
Yeah. Let's get into it here. Panthers puck line. Bruins fade the banner. Yeah. Boston money line and under 5.5. I would lean there too. Kachuk goal and over 3.5 shots. Can't underneath here. I hold these young stud. Yes, this is Mike Glennon. Come on. Sam Bennett goal. Yeah, I've been here for about 3 years. There you go. Yeah, I think he's been here longer than you have.
Mm-hmm.
Antoine Lundell point. Finally, time to drop the puck. Yeah, I can't wait. I remember that name. Why change? Yeah,
because he got locked out of his old account.
Verhaeghe goal and over 3.5 shots. I lost that count, sadly. Yeah, we need Mike Glennon back. No, we don't block people. Ducks started the season 7-3, so I'm looking for underdogs this week. Yes, I have a couple underdogs circled for tomorrow as well. I think Montreal circled for tomorrow. I like the Rangers tomorrow. That's a favorite though. What was it? Kind of like the under in Vegas and Winnipeg. I kind of think Winnipeg could be worth a look tomorrow as well. The Bruins will be good defensively, but I think the Panthers literally beat them up. Yeah, I can see that. I see it's a low-scoring game. Yeah. Overtime? Maybe. I lost the email and password, and it kicked me out. That sucks. Used to have a blue name like you. We have to give Cannon mod.
I'm on it.
Only Florida team winning this week.
4-4-6 away just for the fun of it.
That'd be hilarious, right? Yeah. Only Florida team winning this week is the Bucks because of Milton. Okay. Definitely should be Swayman. Yeah. Knicks plus 4.5 for the start of the NBA season. When does the NBA start?
Like 2 weeks.
Okay, we got a couple weeks before the NBA starts.
Like the
okay.
18th or 17th or something.
Okay, we got plenty of time before that. Give me the fish on the run line. Boston can't pitch. Well, we're talking hockey. And stop fish fade. You are a pain in the ass.
you are a pain.
Who's Mackie Samtovich on the Panthers? This kid is going to be nasty from Michigan University. There you go. I like thinking the double playoff. I like the thinking double revenge playoff wrench on it. Yeah. Flyers Cup future. I'm sorry. My team. Sorry. Cover your ears. I have Philadelphia under 85.5 points. I think this is a team that's going to be selling at the deadline and actually starting their rebuild that they've been putting off for too long. So I'm back. Yeah. Go Bruins. I'm out for class. All right. Go Bruins. We'll move on to the final game. I've not moved on this one here. We have the Chicago Blackhawks taking on the Utah Coyotes. No, I'm not saying Utah Hockey Club. That's not.
That name is so stupid. Like, I know I make fun of the Guardians all the time. Utah Hockey Club.
This is Washington. Stupid. This is Washington football team all over again.
Yeah, that's why during that time I still called them the Redskins. They're still the Utah Coyotes.
Yeah, I typed up Utah Coyotes. Sue me. Line opened up at a 170, 63. It's now a 165. So we have a 2-cent line movement towards Utah. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 120. It's now an 8 at minus 120. I'm thinking baseball. 6 at minus 120. It's now a 6 at minus 113. Take a look at the cash flow in this game. 74% of tickets, 78% of the cash on the over. Lines moving towards the under in this game here. 84% of tickets, 76% of the cash is on Utah. Lines move 2 cents towards Utah in this game. I'm high on Utah this year, and I know probably too many people are, but I think this is a team that they moved to a new arena. This is the home opener for Utah. I think this is the spot to back them because then after this, they hit the road and they go to New York to play the Islanders. Whether or not maybe they're coming down from that spot. But this is a fun, young hockey team that Utah has. They will be centered by Baron Hayden on the top line with Nick Schmaltz and Clayton Keller. Logan Cooley's on the second line with Dylan Gunther and Jack McBrain. Keep an eye out for Gunther this year. He's going to be a lot of fun. Then Josh Doan, another guy who could be in the Rookie of the Year conversation, with Matthias Michelli and Lawson Krause. Kevin Stunlin with Liam O'Brien and Marco Corconi on the fourth line. This team is going to have offense for days. Young, fun offense. And on the blue line, they made a couple nice additions. Mikhail Sergachev is now a Utah Coyote. He's played the last, I don't know how many years, with the Tampa Bay Lightning. He won multiple cups with them. He's now centering that, or he's now on that top defense pairing with Sean Durzi. Ian Cole is with Vladislav Kovalchukov. There we go. And on the third line, Juuso Valimaki is with Robert Bertuzzo, who had a really nice season when he came in and filled in spots for the New York Islanders. Their goaltending situation is going to be interesting this year. Connor Ingram is the starter, most likely. He had a strong year last year. And Karel Vejmelka will be the backup, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 1A, 1B type of system for goaltenders. On the flip side, this Chicago Blackhawks team could be interesting this year. And I have overs on both these teams, to be completely honest. On the top line, none other than Connor Bedard, and he's finally got some decent help. Ilya Mikheyev and Teuvo Teravainen will be on that top line. Philip Kurashev will be on the second line with Tyler Bertuzzi and Taylor Hall. Jason Dickinson will be centering the third line with Joey Anderson and Nick Foligno. Ryan Donato on the fourth line with Craig Smith and Patrick Maroon. Their defense pairing have gotten better as well. Alec Martinez is on the top pairing with Seth Jones. Alec Vlasic will be on the second pairing with TJ Brody, a really strong shutdown defenseman that was with the Minnesota Wild last year. Connor Murphy and Nolan Allen is on the third line there. Their big question mark is in goaltender. They gave an extension to Peter Mrazek, and unfortunately, Laurent Brossoit will be starting the year on the IR, so Arvik Soderblom will be the backup. It'll be pretty simple when Arvik Soderblom's in the net for the Chicago Blackhawks. You take team total overs and full game overs. I think this is a Chicago Blackhawks team that is going to put up goals this year, and they're going to cash some team total overs and things along those lines. And I do see this as an over type of game. I think this is the Blackhawks contribute their team total over is at 2.5 at -135. I lean in that direction. I lean the full game over. I kind of want to take a small shot with the Blackhawks as an underdog in this game. I don't know if I'm getting involved in this game yet, though. It is a lean towards the Blackhawks and an over, but I don't know if I'm getting involved with it yet, but I really want to.
You know what, Nick? I remember the last time we did something, or the last time you did something like this. It was opening night, and the it was the Vegas Golden Knights were heading to the Seattle Kraken for the Kraken's first ever home game. And you were all over the Kraken. How did that one work out?
Was it their first ever home game?
Mm-hmm. I think Vegas booked them.
No, they covered the +1.5.
Oh, it's
Seattle.
Seattle covered the +1.5. All I know is Vegas won that game.
I didn't have the money line. I just had the +1.5 in that game.
Okay. I want the Blackhawks in this one. I think everybody's going to look at this game and see, the Utah first home game in Utah, all this stuff. I think that might be more of a distraction to them. Like, I obviously they're going to get hyped up for the game, but there's probably going to be some type of ceremonies and stuff. And I think it might just be a weird game for the Utah Hockey Club. Not to mention, I'm not high on Utah like everybody else is. I'm not. I think they missed the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be – I think they're going to be one of the bottom teams in the Central. And when it comes to it, I think the Blackhawks could be bad too, but I don't think Utah should be laying 1.5 right now. Now, if you like Utah, grab the puck line, fine, +150, go either way. I'm going to take the Chicago Blackhawks here. I'm taking them on the money line. I got it at, I believe, around plus – what are they at now? They're at 142 now. And I think I got them at like 150 something. Like, I got a really good line on them last night. I got 146, so almost. I'm on the Blackhawks tonight to end the slate.
All right, you son of a bitch, I'm in. Blackhawks money line plus 142. Let's get it
Make sure you
started.
put hockey stuff up on the site.
Yeah.
That's your job.
All right, then head over to the chat and I will put up my place.
Okay. Utah, you're thinking the Yetis. They're the Utah Coyotes until we say so. The over. I can see the over in this game. That team does sound like secret society. Kind of. We're not reading that one. Over 6. Dang, Alec Martinez is on the Hawks.
Yeah.
The Hawks are they're not going to be horrible this year. I don't think they're going to be like bottom of the league bad again. And maybe a Connor Bedard goal. I want to look up Connor Bedard's point, like a point prop for him. Utah Coyotes, what am I missing? Update me. It's the Utah Hockey Club. It's the Arizona Coyotes that moved from Arizona to Utah.
I'm just being funny with the Utah Coyotes here. It's the Utah Hockey Club.
And they will be playing in the same arena as the Utah Jazz. Seth Jones over 2.5 shots on goal. Little Bedardi anytime goal. I think I'm going to end up going with Bedard as well. Blackhawks forever ass. Yotes 60 minutes to play the Coyotes. For this show to start the season. Do we still have that one here? There you go. There you go. Go Blackhawks. Brody was on the Leafs. I think not Wild.
Who am I thinking of? I thought TJ Brody was a Wild.
I thought it was like Matt Brody or something like that.
Let me take a look at that.
446. No, and 446 is trying to be funny. This is Vought. I made over 1,000% over on account during hockey season. Let's do it. Utah arena sucks. No alcohol, and some seats can't even see the ice. That's rough. Bedard goal. Let's do it. Utah hockey in Utah doesn't sound right. No, I think it sounds right. Morning, gentlemen. Morning, untouchable. I think Utah wins. Blackhawks have looked awful in the preseason, which does not matter.
I think they punted the preseason. To be
and
completely
we're
honest.
dead last on offense last season, so elevation is going to be hard. We'll see. Happy birthday to me. Looking to make a special, profitable day. Get it, untouchable.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Blues and Kyrou, anytime goal scorer. I hope the Blues can score a bunch. Tons on off-season moves in the NHL. Shake my head. Spend a whole damn day looking over ads and subs, right? Utah Arena has an awesome tequila bar. That doesn't sound right. Thanks, bros. Yeah, untouchable with the Blues. Let's get it. All right, Nick. Time to head over 48 minutes, and we're finally back over to baseball.
Well, yeah. One thing I will say is the breakdowns for the hockey for the team's first games are going to be a little bit longer because I'm going to break down all their offseason moves and things like that, so we have a better idea of these teams.
Yep.
Let's get into some baseball here. Playoffs have been fun so far. 18-10 for me, up 7.49 units. Let's get into it. I've doubled up on this game. I did not. I only have one play on the last game though. So let's get into it here. The New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies minus 110 favorites, total of 7 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot where it opened up with the Phillies as minus 112 favorites. It's now minus 110. So we have a 2-cent line movement here towards the New York Mets. Line opened up a 7.5 minus 110. It's now a 7 at minus 113. Expecting Sean Manaea to pitch well. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game. 48% of the tickets, 62% of the cash is on the Mets. Lines move slightly towards the Mets. Show sharp money on the Mets. Line moving towards them. 89% of tickets, 89% of the cash on the over here as well, with the line dropping. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Aaron Nola struggled heading into the playoffs here. 4.91 ERA, 1.39 whip the last 30 days. 12 strikeouts per nine, which is 31%. 2.18 walks per nine, a 369 BABIP, a 398 FIP, and a 2.90 Sierra. On the flip side, Sean Manaea, 3.32 ERA, 0.87 whip, 8.29 strikeouts per nine, which is 24%. 2.61 walks per nine, a 185 BABIP, a 406 FIP, and a 3.92 Sierra. Bullpen-wise, over the last 30 days, the edge goes towards the Mets. The hitting edge goes towards the Mets as well. 85 WRC plus, which is 21st, compared to 83, which is 19th. The scene now shifts to New York for Game 3. This is the Mets' first home game since September 22nd. It's been a couple
their
weeks.
First home playoff game, non-wild card, since the 2015 World Series.
Yeah. Sean Manaea has looked really strong through most of this year. He's coming in off of an outing where he went 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 6 hits, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. That was the 5-3 loss to the Brewers in Game 2 in that series, but it was not his fault whatsoever. This is going to be Aaron Nola's first playoff start of 2024. I do want to take a look at Aaron Nola's stats in the playoffs, which I believe he actually has done pretty well in the playoffs, but against the Mets seem to beat him for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm. Mets are 6-0 in their last 6 games against them.
Yeah, so the Mets have had success against the Phillies, and Aaron Nola starts. So there's that as well. I am on the New York Mets first 5 in full game. Sue me. I got -110 for the first 5 and -109 for the full game. I think the line movement's kind of telling here as well that the public is on the Phillies and the line ain't budging. I do see a pitching advantage with Manaea. And I do see a hitting edge with the Mets, and the bullpen edge I think goes to the Mets right now too. And they do have a bunch of things in the bullpen that they have options to them, whether they want to go with a Peterson or a McGill or something like that if they need length or
I don't know how available McGill will be.
I don't. Yeah, that's the big question. But I mean, there was a day off there. So a lot of players will be available out of the bullpen, and the Mets have shown no fear towards any of the Philly bullpen arms, whether it's Estevez, whether it's Ruiz, whether it's Strahm, whether it's Hoffman. They've been able to get to these guys. So I'm on the Mets first 5 in full game here in the spot.
I'm on the Mets in the over. Because as much as the Mets have good numbers against Nola, the Phillies have good numbers versus Manaea. And I could see both pitchers getting hit today. I could see another one of those like Game 2 in the and I will say, if Game 2 was in New York, the Mets were probably winning that game. Because it was going to be the last team that was batting was going to win that game. And because you saw the last couple innings, it was back and forth and back and forth. But I think this could be a higher scoring game. I think 7's way too low. The Mets have success against Nola. The Phillies have success against Manaea, especially in the playoffs. Although Padres' version of Sean Manaea and Mets' version of Sean Manaea are two vastly different pitchers.
He's changed mechanics.
He's changed a lot, and he's looked a lot better from his San Diego days to the now. Sean Manaea finished as the second most profitable pitcher in baseball, only behind Shota Imagina. He also finished behind Trevor Williams. Williams only pitched like 12 starts, so I don't count him. I'm going to continue back Sean Manaea. I think this one's going to be the Mets in the over.
Sure.
Happy birthday. Mets money line. Let's get it. Blues, Phillies parlay for me today. No thanks. That game out yet. Aaron Nola is a fade. What Mets props are we betting? Oh yeah,
I put a small bet on Lindor and Vientos both to get a hit at +108.
I took Mark Vientos over his bases. I gave that out as the free pick video last night. Thanks, 446. It's the reverse of 63. Don't tell him because 446 will never tell you his age. Phillies first 5 money line. Mets can't hit lefties.
It's a good thing that Aaron Nola's a righty.
Nola's a righty. I'm confused.
Yeah.
It's Mets day. I'll have my usual Nerfy in the Mets first 5. I like it. Okay, parlay of the day. Mets team total over. And the Padres team total over. At +240. Get it. I can't read that. It's almost English. Good luck, dude. Over 7. Mets own Nola. Bueller is hittable. That parlay. Nope, not saying that one out loud. Lindor homer. and Nimmo homer. I like both. Schwarber bomb loading plus 300. You know it's coming, probably. Lindor no hits plus 140. They still score over 3.5 runs. Plus 170. If you must, he could probably hit that in the first inning, though. I will get more specific on the NHL picks. I'm going under 2.5 first 5. Philly's going to win this game. I know that for some reason Drew just doesn't like us. Castellanos home run, he's been popping off. We all know I hate the Mets, but if I was a betting man, Mets win this game, hoping that they score over 3.5 runs and lose. Somehow, some way. Mets team total over 3.5. Separate bets, lock it up. Y'all saying off NHL player props this year, eh? I want to see a little bit of. I want to see teams play first.
I'll probably be just.
I will have player props, but I want to. It'll be. It's gonna be about a month until I start betting player props.
Yeah.
Phillies team total over. First period, Chicago and Boston.
Yeah, I don't hate those looks.
I will say, Nick, I'm probably going to stay off of this game.
Yeah, I did a free pick video for this one last night. I gave out the team total over 4.5 at plus 115. Let's get into it here. The San Diego Padres and the LA Dodgers. The Padres opened up minus 145. It's now 152. So we do have a move towards the Padres here in this one. Line opened up at a 7.5 at minus 105. It's now 7.5 at minus 117. Move towards the over here as well. Take a look at the cash flow. 90% of the tickets and 87% of the cash on the over. So the market's moving towards the over, and it should be. 36% of the tickets, 96% of the cash on the Dodgers, and the line's moving towards the Padres. In this game here, we have Walker Buehler. Starting this game for the LA Dodgers versus Michael King. Buehler, 4.44 ERA, 1.14 whip, 8.54 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 3.72 walks per nine, a 3.01 BABIP, a 4.99 FIP, and a 4.16 SIERA. Michael King, 1.57 ERA, a 1.04 whip, 9.39 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 2.35 walks per nine, a 2.79 BABIP, a 2.69 FIP, and a 3.55 SIERA. Bullpen edge, Padres. Hitting edge does go towards the Dodgers, 134 WRC plus, which is second, compared to 119, which is fifth. I'm taking what Michael King does. I'm completely out of the mix here. I'm just going to back the San Diego Padres offense in this game with the team total over 4.5 at plus 115. So I'm on that in this spot. I'm just on the team total over for the Padres in this game.
All right, I'm going to stay off this one. I haven't really gotten Dodger games right this year. And I look at it, if by chance the Mets make it past the Phillies, I would much rather play the Dodgers than the Padres. But I'm not betting these games. We just saw, the thing is, I think if I'm going after anything and it's scary, I'd go after the Dodgers here. The Dodgers are just coming off of getting blown out 10-2. The game where Machado's throwing stuff at the Dodger dugout and Dodger fans are throwing beers at players and that crazy ass game. I don't know. I kind of want to look towards the Dodgers here. Am I betting? We'll see how the first game goes. I might end up taking the Dodgers today.
I don't think this series makes it back to LA. I think the Padres take the next two. I originally said Padres in 4.
I don't know about that. I have a feeling that it's a Dodger day. I think everybody's going to look. Everybody sees Walker Buehler. Nobody likes Walker Buehler. Michael King's been fantastic. I don't know. It just seems like an interesting spot to go Dodgers today. Am I betting it? Not yet, but it's definitely something I'm considering.
Fair.
Panthers to score a first goal. No, thank you. If 446 is picking the Mets, I know the Phillies are going to win.
He's just trying to reverse jinx them. Don't read into it.
Padres run line. I'm amazed Nick isn't betting the Mets team total over. He's not as sharp as I thought.
I'm not tripling up on the game. I bet the first 5 money line. I bet the full game money line. I'm not going to triple up on the spot.
I can never root for the Mets, Drew. See, that's why I took their team total over. It's Bueller's day off. Padres first 5. Padres run line, Tatis over bases, Morel over bases, King strikeouts, Machado bases, and LAD under the runs. Maybe. Mets win tonight. Nope. LA is a choke job in the playoffs. Did he really get robbed? Yes, I saw that Walker Buehler got robbed of a $100,000 watch.
Because he was at a horse race the day before a playoff game.
Sean Manaea is a Cy Young. I don't think it's a Cy Young. I never said he's a Cy Young. He had a really good year. I never said he was a Cy Young. King over strikeouts. Mets, Padres lock. So I guess the Dodgers are winning that. Yankees and Dodgers getting eliminated this round would be fun. Yeah.
It would be.
You also said that during the Brewers series. Drew, I'm not taking anything you say seriously. Tatis home run, Morel home run. I'm not going to talk you off of it. Those are all the games for today. Nick, good job. 5 games late. We made it an hour. But that's going to do it for this show. All of our plays will be on the CapperTek that I'm posting now. Go and follow us over there. That's where you'll get all of the plays that we put up on the that we put up there every single day. Maybe some future bets, some player props, all that good stuff. I already have 5 plays up for tomorrow as well. So I'm ready for some hockey. NBA will start on the 18th or something, so I'll end up having a bunch of plays then. But that is everything for today. Yes, NHL Robert. That's everything for today. We will see you guys back here tomorrow on my rumors. If the Mets sign Soto, the Yankees will go after Alonso. Unfortunately, this could happen. I don't expect Alonso to re-sign with the Mets. I don't. That's fine. It would be cool if they did, but I don't expect it. That's going to do it for this edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.